Welcome to my craft room and welcome to another Craft and Create with Tracy. I am Tracy and I craft here at Country Charm by Tracy. I love to share crafty ideas with a bit of rustic country charm, and also I love to share my ideas with you. And so it is also my segment of Craft Round the Clock. So for the next 45 minutes or however long it takes, I will be your hostess in the Craft Around the Clock. And I am so glad that y'all are watching today. Guys, if you are watching on the replay, or actually if you're watching live, there'll be a red live button up here at the top. If not, that means you're watching on the replay. So I would love it if you would just let me know by just kindly putting hashtag replay in the comments, because the majority of my friends do watch on the replay because I do upload my videos to my YouTube channel. So a shout out to them as well. So hello, Mary Beth and Barb and Miss Terry, Eileen, Elizabeth, Casey, Brenda, oh my goodness, Wendy, Kimberly, so many of my sweet friends, Miss Casey, Robin, everyone, welcome. I am so glad to be here with you today. Now I have, in true Tracy fashion, I switched up my project today because I was all ready to do a project, and then, I switched at the last minute. But I wanted to, I don't know what I ended up doing. I'm like, why didn't you remember that that's what you were going to do in the first place? And it'll make more sense as I go along with it. I am so glad that you are here, guys. So also let me know where you're watching from. I love to know where my community is watching from. I am in the great state of Texas in a little town called Brenham. And so not too far from Houston. And so I'm a big Astros fan, have been my whole life, so I'm pretty happy today that they won last night. First game of the ALDS. So anyway, go Stros, and hopefully we can go all the way. Anyway, so guys, this is actually been inspired by a couple of my friends. I had watched an event this past weekend that I had shared on my page, and they had done a lot of fun grungy things, okay? And so it's a new technique for me, and so I'm just going to share that with you. Also, being a part of Craft Around the Clock, it has led me to reignite my love for primitive country. And so sweet Tracy Campbell, who is my Sweet Home Living, she is also the mastermind behind Craft Around the Clock. She has just really turned me on to a lot of my love. It just reignited that. And so this event that I watched this past weekend, they were showing some techniques that I was familiar with, but I never really took the time to learn how to do them. So anyway, guys, that's what I'm going to be doing today. Hello. Hi, Miss Carol. Hi, Deborah. Hi, everyone that is here. So anyway, guys, this is what I'm going to show you how to do today. Okay. I was going to do an ACORN craft anyway, but I kind of like changed it at the last minute because I'm going to show you how I finally took the time to learn how to do the grungy technique with coffee. Guys, I cannot believe that I am crafting with coffee, okay? I have seen this technique for years. In my rustic primitive country home, I have a lot of grungy things, but I just never really, I'll be honest with you, I never took the time to learn how to do it or really cared. I would just buy it or whatever. Anyway, so when I watched that event this past weekend, it was a Fall and Flannel, and there were some amazing creators in there, and some of them are, fairly new. This year they just got their pages on Facebook, so they're really trying to grow their following and that kind of thing. And so Stephanie from the Vintage Pebble, and then Christy from the Dashing Willow, and Sarah from Booksy and Buttons. So I apologize if I got any of your names wrong, but those girls are rocking it. And so I'll go back later after the video is over. I will put all of their pages in there. But anyway, guys, they did a lot of their techniques like this. And so, yeah, I went a little bit too heavy, but you know, it's all learning. It's not perfect. I don't want it to look store-bought. Okay. All right. So anyway, I hope that you are all doing well today. Oh, Miss Terry says she loves doing coffee stain. Well, yes, I had done more tea stain versus coffee stain. And so Tracy Campbell had shared with us how to coffee stain muslin and stuff. And so then also the girls this past weekend, they were using coffee, like instant coffee on their fabric. And I'm like, oh my goodness, here all these years, I didn't realize it was as simple as that. So my parents, to this day, my parents who have been married almost 60 years, they still drink instant coffee. They do. That's just what they do. And so anyway, my mom is kind of like in the back of my head, you know, and I'm like, really? Coffee? What? We drink that. Anyway, so I am just using a classic, whatever. I guess it really doesn't matter. Now, I am not a coffee drinker. I'm not. I do not like the taste of coffee. I know I'm one of the only ones that don't. I don't like the taste of coffee. Now, I love to smell it. So this right here is like divine because I have some coffee and I have the cinnamon going on too. And but yeah, I don't really like the taste. Now in the winter, I do like the pumpkin latte and stuff like that if it's a little more flavored. But like after the winter's over, then I don't want it. I don't know. I know I'm weird because there are a lot of people that like they can't start their day without their coffee, and more power to you. But me, it really doesn't matter. So anyway, hello, Christina, the rust covered cottage. She is another one that was in that event this past weekend. So guys, like I said, I will put a link to everybody as well as their group that they have, because if you're watching my videos, you're probably going to love what they're doing. And so they're really trying to grow their pages. So I want to give them a special shout out because they are just rocking and rolling it. Okay. All right. So yes, this is what I'm going to do today. I am actually putting together a video, a fall video that I'm putting together for my YouTube channel. And so YouTube, for my videos, what I find is that I get more views and more interaction if I have a video that has multiple projects in it. And so I may be including that in this. It depends on how today goes. Hello. Hi, Diane. Hi, Patty and Tony. Welcome, Carol. I'm so glad that y'all are here. Okay. So I have, you know, in my trusty little baskets, because, you know, that's how I roll. I put everything in, you know, just to keep everything together. And then I still change my mind. So, yeah, because I've just really changed my mind. I was going to do an ACORN project, but I wasn't going to do the coffee and all that. And I was like, yes, I was going to do that. So you need to do that. Anyway, I'm sorry. I don't mean to be all over the place. I really, really don't. But, I guess I'm going to need to start writing it down. This is what I'm going to do, but I will change my mind. So that's not going to work either. That's not going to work either. Okay. So what I'm starting with is one of those ACORN wood cutouts from Dollar Tree. Yes. Dollar Tree. Now I've had mine for a little bit. So I don't know if I got it when it was, you know, $1 or $1.25. I really don't know. Yes, Christina, the rust covered cottage says that it's the crafter's brain. That's right. It's just all over the place. And also my son, who is 16 now, he's finally deciding to take an interest in driving. And so I know we could have already been, you know, had all this done, but he wasn't ready yet. So we didn't want to push him. And so then now he's ready. He's ready. So we're doing the driving. So this morning it was a little, you know, we have about a half of a mile from our house to the road. We're not ready to let him get on the highway yet. And so, you know, he drives from our house to the road. Well, it was a little bit foggy, and then people were behind us, and then he was getting way over. And so I was rattled. I was rattled. And so I'm like, this is not good, but we just don't have any other option. We don't have any driver's education in our school, in our hometown. It's like parent taught or none. Anyway, so I was a little rattled this morning. So that's kind of how I started out. Maybe I needed some coffee, huh? Man, I need some coffee. Anyway, so, okay, again, I'm using an ACORN from the Dollar Tree, and I didn't do anything with it. Now, I wanted to give it a little bit more cushion. This is just a personal preference. You know, this is just really a personal preference. So I was going to paint it. I was going to stain it. And then I was like, no, I think I want a little more cushion. So what I'm using is a piece of fleece. I think this is fleece. I just cut it off of a piece that I had. And so then I just am going to start gluing it around. Gluing it around here. I just wanted to give it just some more cushion. And so I'm not sure, you know, I really just wanted to create this today. I'm not sure if I'm going to just use them just like, you know, with some polka pods or some kind of like potpourri, fall potpourri. You know, just like a shelf sitter kind of thing, or if I'm going to put it on a wreath, I don't know. Sometimes sometimes as inspiration strikes. That's kind of what I, you know, go on. I'm like, yeah, I can do that with that. Sometimes I keep things for a couple of years, just like I shared yesterday with my football turkey. I finally got that done. I filmed that video. And I will be uploading, like I said, a video to my YouTube channel that has multiple projects in it. And it's going to include that turkey football it was on a yard stake, but then I took him off and I put him on a wreath. And so the wreath turned out really, really cute. Or I mean, of course, I'm biased, so I do say that myself. So Tony says, I took driver's ed back in high school, and then my dad taught me because he was also the instructor. Girl, you are lucky. You are so lucky. And my son, he's a very, like, he likes to know why this is. Okay, like, why? You know, for example, like the stop sign, okay? Like, you know, the law is you stop behind the stop sign, but then if something is obstructing your view, then you move up, you look both ways. He's like, but you're supposed to stop behind it. Yes, but you've got to move up in order to see. And I'm like, oh my gosh. You know, just stuff like that. He's a very like if we're talking about something and we'll say, I wonder if XYZ, whatever, or what their hours are. Or for example, what their hours are. Like if we say, oh, that's a new restaurant, I wonder what their hours are. He's already Googling it to find out what their hours are, you know, so he like wants to know the information. And of course he has had all of this technology at his fingertips almost his whole life. So it's like, anyway, so that was how my day started. Okay, so then the next thing, so I already got my fleece on there. And this is just padding that I guess this is fleece. That's what I'm calling it. If it's something else, that's what I'm calling it, fleece. And so then what I was going to do is I have a bag, just a paper bag. Now, I know the camera really doesn't pick it up, but I can tell that it's kind of crinkly, that it's, you know, crinkled up and all that kind of thing. And so I'm going to go ahead and do that with this one as well, because I know it's there and it just kind of adds the bumpiness and the waviness and stuff like that. Okay. So what I have is just a regular size lunch bag, and I've already done this one, but I wanted to show you real quick because I needed to let it dry. I don't even know if I need to do that, but I'm going to go ahead and show you what I was going to do to begin with. So I cut off the bottom part of it. So I am using my Mevo camera, so I'm able to zoom y'all in a little bit closer, zoom you out, that kind of thing. So I'm just using a regular lunch bag, and and actually when I cut off the bottom, this was wide enough to cover my acorn. Well, what, you know, the part where I wanted to cover it. Okay. So then what I did is I crushed it up. Sorry if it's loud. I don't know why. Bags, cellophane, it's not cellophane, cellophane bags and all of that stuff. Paper is so loud on the video. Hey Penny, hey Maureen, hey Tracy, hi Miss Mary and Bonnie, Jackie. So many sweet friends are watching today. Okay, so then I wanted to add some, like, I wanted to distress it. So what I did is I pulled out, I have some of this, it's Glimmer Mist, it's Tattered Angels. And what I did is I just sprayed it. That takes a little bit of time to dry, but I'm not going to worry about doing that because I've already done it on here. And also, once I put the coffee grunge on it and the cinnamon, you can't never really tell. So why waste my, you know, Glimmer Mist on that? Okay. So that's what I did. I sprayed it with the Glimmer Mist. And then what I did also is I just went over it with my Vintage Photo ink and just, you know, just kind of gave it a little bit of distressing. Well, that's when I had the light bulb moment that was like, oh my goodness, you were going to do the coffee grunge, Tracy, because I was so inspired by the ladies that did the event on Saturday. And then also sweet Tracy Campbell is always showing us her primitive country crafts. And like I said, it is just really reignited my love of primitive country crafts with the grunge and stuff. Okay. So then what I'm going to do is just go ahead and just glue this on. And so, like I said, I'm just doing this right now for video purposes. But of course, if this is something that you are planning to recreate or do to sell or to, you know, give as a gift or something like that, definitely, I would always, you know, finish the back. You know, I do like to have my projects finished. I do like that. Okay. So then I'm just kind of hold this over there. All right. And of course I could probably take off some of this, but you know, we could just glue it. We could just glue it. And if you were watching last week, I was struggling with my glue gun and the little short glue sticks. Well, I went that day, or that day, I went ahead and ordered me some of the longer glue sticks from Amazon and had those delivered, because I usually can find mine at Walmart, but sometimes because I just have the little glue stick. I know, I mean, the little glue gun. I know that there's a lot of people that use the bigger glue guns and all of that, but we all have to use what we like. And I just like this little bitty one. What I really like about it is the tip, the little bitty tip. Now, I did have an Aleene's Creative Living. I don't know if that's the name of it, but it leans glue and gun, and I used it for years, and it had the precision nozzle. Well, then I don't know, it burned out or whatever, and then I just never invested in another one. But I really like the glue gun that has the precision. I can't even say that word. Precision nozzle. Okay. So this one is, I had this homespun right here, this little, you know, this gold and all that. This is just so my heart. And so then, just to kind of change it up a little, I had pulled out this gold homespun. Seeing if I have a short end in here by chance, and I do not. So I'm going to go ahead and have to cut this. And this homespun, you can get homespun a lot of different places. A lot of homespun I have because I used it for years and years in my rustic primitive country crafts. And so, you know, Hobby Lobby, Joann's, Walmart. There is also a store, an online store called Jubilee Fabric, and they are online and they ship and all of that stuff. And I don't know where I got it from. Brenda's asking where I got the brown golden homespun. I don't know. I'm so sorry, but I have had this homespun for so long that I don't know where I got it from. But the shops, you know, where I shop at is Joann's, Walmart, Hobby Lobby. So that's probably where it's at. And then just recently I found the Jubilee Fabric online. Jubilee Fabric is they're online. If you Google that, it should pop up. And they're also on Instagram and also on Facebook. Okay. So I wanted to add just a little bit of, I didn't want it to be totally like flat. So what I did is just kind of glue it where it had a little bit of, you know, on there. Yes, Terry, that is a lunch bag that I crinkled up and then glued it to the ACORN. I covered my ACORN with fleece just to give it a little padding. And then now I have this homespun fabric, and I want to add just a little bit of character and cuteness just by kind of giving it just where it's not so flat. Where it's just not so flat. So a little bit of the excess. See, this right here I will use for other projects. So that was too good not to, too good not to save. So I just use my glue gun and just kind of glue that over. Oh, almost forgot. I wanted to, I should have cut this off a little bit shorter because I want to cover the stem with burlap. So like I said, once I'm finished with my video, I will go over, I will actually put a link to Jubilee Fabrics in the comments as well. Maybe I'll tag their Facebook page or whatever. So it's very interesting because I have never had a problem finding homespun. Especially when I was doing craft shows and all that stuff, I have never had a problem. And so I do get questions from, you know, people who follow and stuff and say, where I can't find Homespun, where you get the Homespun. And so that, I don't know, it was just kind of like, oh my goodness. I've just never had a problem finding the Homespun. All right. So then for my stem of my acorn, I have some burlap. I like to do this. Thanks, Miss Brenda. Brenda has sprinkled out the charm. I do appreciate that so much. That is just a free way to help us creators, is just by sprinkling out into the free groups, as well as other places, you know, your page and all of that stuff. So, sorry, I was a little bit out of the camera. Sorry about that. All right, I know it doesn't look like much now, but we're gonna get it. We're gonna do some coffee staining and some cinnamon. Put some cinnamon on. Yeah, smells delicious, divine in here. Okay. All right. So then also, I do like to add just a bit of distressing around. And once I put my coffee stain on, it's probably really not going to matter. Okay. So then now the fun part. So, and I love this burlap from the Dollar Tree. And it just gets all stringy, and then it's just all pretty and cute, and I just love that. Okay, so I'm using instant coffee as well as some Mod Podge, and then just a paintbrush. And so everyone has their own way to, you know, do the process or whatever. But the ladies from this past weekend just really made it really look so simple, and it really is. And so I got a little carried away on my acorn from this morning. I got a little carried away, but you know what? It is what it is. So I just took some Mod Podge on and just put a little bit of that on there, like that. And then just take some of my instant coffee and just sprinkle that on there. And I have no idea why I put my brush back in there, knowing I was going to use it. So then just kind of go back over it a little. So tell me, have y'all tried this? Those of y'all that are interested. I know this is not everybody's style or not everyone's style, but I just love this. I don't like really a lot of grunge, but I do like some grunge. And this coffee smells so good. I know, I'm weird. So look how beautiful that's looking. And of course, once it dries, it's going to dry a little bit more. It kind of like, I don't know, like melts, I guess. It kind of melts in it. And so then I actually like the coffee more than the cinnamon. This is just cinnamon I got, I don't know, at the grocery store or somewhere. Oh, so I just sprinkled it on there. Anyway, it just kind of clumped on there. So anyway, I probably am not going to use a lot of cinnamon on here, but I just wanted to show y'all the coffee and then the cinnamon. I really just kind of really like the coffee grunge. So thank you, ladies, for reigniting my love of all of this stuff. And I know that these techniques have been around for years and years. I'm not going to, trying to say that they're just brand new. They're not. But the point is, guys, you never know when something is going to inspire you. That's my point. You don't know something that you may have liked, or something that maybe you weren't interested in a long time ago. All of a sudden you're interested in, and you're like, oh, well, how did they do that? I want to know how they do that, you know? And so that's the purpose of sharing, you know, and that kind of thing. So that's what I did. I'm going to go ahead and stop there because I got a little carried away on my acorn from this morning. Okay, so Terry says she's been doing almost a year. Lisa at the Silver Farmhouse does a lot of it. Awesome. Yes, I do follow her page as well. Awesome. All right. So, I mean, we learned from different people, you know. I'm not, the people that I call out is, I'm not saying that they're the first ones that did it. I just shared, I wanted to give credit for where I've learned how to do it, or that really inspired me how to do that. Sweet Tracy from My Sweet Home Living, as well as Sarah from Booksy and Buttons, and the Vintage Pebble, and all of that good stuff. Now this is it's gonna dry a little bit more, but I wanted to go ahead. I pulled out some of these berries that I had on hand, and I thought that those would look really pretty on that. So I wanted to also show you a tag. Now, I know I always use a lot of these tags because I had purchased a whole bunch of them many years ago when I tea stained them. And so that's why I guess I always use them, because I have so many of them. And so they're just like, you know, market tags, that kind of thing. And so I am just going to do some hand lettering, and of course this is very messy, so I'm trying to clean my hands. Just trying to clean my hands. So I just love it that there are so many creators on Facebook as well as on YouTube, and then also Pinterest. We can be totally inspired by that. And so just to share our love of just, you know, primitive country rustic crafts, you know. So, all right. Okay, so I'm going to do some hand lettering. And so I do have, God has blessed me with the gift of hand lettering. And so I know that there are a lot of friends that do like, or do want to learn how to hand letter. In my link tree, there is, if you scroll down about halfway, there is some free fonts that I have kind of compiled together to show. They have the dots on them. I dropped my top, so I don't want my marker to dry out. So I have been hand lettering for many, many years. I wanted to learn how to do it many years ago. And so God has given me this, I guess at first he gave me the desire, and then also the patience to stay at it and just persevere. And I wanted to learn how to do it. And so my stuff is not perfect. And so I just love to just do hand lettering. And so, like I said, in those, in the link tree is some free fonts that I have kind of collected, and you can download them from defont.com, put them on your, install them on your computer, and then you can practice, you know, the words you want, you know, and then you can use graphite by paper or tracing paper or something like that. All right, so I don't know why I keep showing you that. This is just white paint. So I do like to, I just take my little liner brush, and I repeat this every time that I have been doing this lately, because I've been getting questions about where to find a small liner brush that isn't so clumpy. So guys, what the trick is, I guess, is to find a brush, like a liner brush and a paint liner brush, and then take out some of the bristles. And so that will give you just a few bristles so that you have just a few bristles so that you don't have a whole lot of paint bristles. And then that just gives you, you know, just a few bristles. So I have just one that is very old and very loved a long time ago. Hi, Wyatt's Whatnots. Howdy to you. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and let this dry for just a second. And so then for my bow, I have just some muslin fabric here. And what I do is I just rip it. And this is a very stringy. And then this fabric, now I got this in a fat quarter at Walmart in the, where they were folded up. And then I just took my little mini iron and I just did the, you know, ironed it so that it would not have the creases in it so bad. It didn't take them all out, but it did take out the majority of it. So that's good. Anyway, so cut off the ends. And so I just am going to, this is kind of how I do my little messy bows. Everybody has their own style, own way of doing things. This is just kind of how I do it. Just cut strips of fabric. And then also I want to leave a little longer one because I want to use that to tie. All right. So then now what I want to do is this jewelry cording or hemp cording. I just got a ball of this from the craft store. So what I do, guys, is I just hold it in my hands and go back and forth. I love using this hemp cording or jewelry cording. I don't even know why I did it. Cord. I just did about 6 loops, so 3 on each side. Then also I cut off a piece just to tie it off in the middle. And I just like this thin cording like this. I love all jute. I love, you know, sisal twine. But I really like this jewelry cording because it just really just adds a lot. All right. So I think earlier when I had and guys, I got this tip. This is foam board, and that's what I put my fabric around. I got this tip from the Little Green Bean on Instagram. This is how she does it, and then I just stack them with the ends showing like that, and then I can see my fabric. So I'm gonna cut some strips of this, or tear strips of this rather. Okay, so now I just like to just go and bend this. So Brenda gives a tip: use a damp vinegar water cloth or in a spray bottle to iron out wrinkles. Works great. Thank you, Brenda. Okay. So I just bend it back and forth. And then I also like to take my vintage photo ink, this distress ink. probably need to get another pad because this one, it's not as dark as I want it to be. I think it's like dried out a little. I don't know. Sometimes those lids do not stay on there. And so then sometimes, you know, you think you may have it, you as the crafter, me, you think you have it closed, but you don't have it closed. All right, so then I'm going to tie this around here. And like I said, I know my back of my acorn is a little messy. But I'll go ahead and fix that. Because I haven't quite decided if I'm going to, you know, just use them as shelf sitters or what I'm going to actually do with them. Okay. I should have put some lace in here too. I love for my messy bows to add, you know, lace and trims. Y'all have seen me do that before. If you're new to my channel, welcome. I'm so sorry that I didn't welcome you before now. But I do love to share country craft ideas like this, a little bit whimsy, a little bit primitive country like today's. And, all of that good stuff. All of that good stuff. So, let me zoom you back up here. And so then probably what I'll do is add some pepperas. This one has a little star on it. Perfect. I was looking on Pinterest, you know, just to, you know, sometimes I'll get on there just to, you know, kind of get some, just to be inspired. Just to be inspired. But I didn't really find anything that I really liked. And it's just because I was going to do this method. So I was just going to show how I covered it and how I distressed it and stuff. And then I'm like, yes, girl, you were going to use the coffee grunge. So thank you to all the sweet friends who do that. Because, so this is my acorns. I should have put the blessed over there, but that is okay. That's okay. I seem to go to one side. For whatever reason. Anyway, so you can see how I did it a little bit heavier on this one. Yeah, it's a little bit heavy. I went a little bit lighter on this one, and then it kind of dries and that kind of thing. So anyway, I don't know. I may like it a little bit better. I don't know. I'll look at it. I'm going to look at it just for a few days to go, which one do you like better? Because that's just what I do. So anyway, like I said, I will go back and put some links in the description as well as in the event. I will include all of that, you know, links to Jubilee Fabric for those that maybe want to see what they offer, because they have lots of fun homespun fabrics. Or look at Walmart, Joann Fabrics, Hobby Lobby, or Hobby Lobby. You know, that's my favorite store. And anyway, so yeah, anyway, okay, well, this, I just had it sitting. I didn't have it glued down, but I just wanted to show y'all kind of what my idea was, what I was going to do. I do have some polka pots, some like fall potpourri that I love decorating my home with. And so, yeah. Okay, guys, thanks so much for watching. There is more crafting in the Craft Around the Clock group, so there is a link in the description box. Thank you so much for joining me. I appreciate you. Blessed by your presence. All right, y'all have a great day. Bye, guys.